So what is going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. If we have not yet met, my name is Peter Roberts, and in today's video I want to share with you exactly my journey on how I learned how to sell, how this skill allowed me to make $10, $15, $20, $25,000 per month in my early teens and 20s without a college degree, but most importantly, how I learned this skill without ever picking up a sales book. I've never read a sales book, and I want to share the exact skills that you can learn that can change your life. I want to share with you how I went from jumping into the lawn care business and only being able to make $10,000 to $15,000 as an innocent, no idea how to run a business type of teenager, early 20-year-old kid that dropped out of college, doing $10,000 to $15,000 per month because I learned how to sell. How I sold that business and then jumped into the tree removal business, knowing nothing about trees, knowing nothing about the industry, but I had my skill of sales that allowed me to make $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 per month in commissions. How then I jumped into the life insurance industry, knowing nothing about financial services, never really selling life insurance before, and been able to make $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 consistently per month and submitting hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of commissions, as you can see here, all because I've learned how to sell. Now, I didn't study, I have never read books on sales, and I want to share with you real ways that I got good at selling. And once you can learn the skill of sales, it doesn't matter if you have a college degree, it doesn't matter anything. You can control your income, you can make as much money as you want, and most importantly, your bank account will change. And I want to share with you why I make this video. I just had these thoughts of, a few stories that completely changed my life. When I first started my lawn care business and I made my first $18,000 per month, I ran home telling my parents at the end of the month, it's April, Mom, Dad, look at this, look how much money I made. Okay, well, are you still gonna go to college? Question, just broke and crushed my dreams. I just made $18,000, and the reason that I did that was because I learned how to sell. Yet I didn't have the college degree, and then yet I hear the conversations in my house when, Peter's still figuring it out. He doesn't know what he's doing, he's still figuring it out. Yet I just made $12,000 by selling tree removal services. That is probably more money than most people make at my age as a 21, 22-year-old. But he's still figuring it out. And you know what I was figuring out? I was figuring out how to increase my skill set to forever change my income. And I was figuring out how to sell, because if I learned how to sell, I would be unstoppable. My family's future would change. And most importantly, I would make an income that no one else in my family or people that I looked up to could make. I never read a book on sales. I never went to the seminars. I didn't do any of that stuff that a lot of people are telling you. I went directly into the game. So the first way that I learned how to sell was, number one, jumping in the game early and often. I want to share with you some of the stories and just walk you through what my life looked like. The things that your books can't teach you. The things that, the resources on YouTube, even this video can't teach you. And it's by getting in the game. I encourage you to jump in the game as soon as possible. And how I jumped in the game completely changed my life. First way, as a teenager, 17, 16, 12, whatever age I was, I picked up a shovel and I was knocking on doors. Those days, knocking on doors while making $20, $40 per day, knocking on people's doors, asking that lady down the street, Sally, if I could shovel her driveway for 40 bucks. That transaction of being scared, my heart pounding, asking my brother, yo, please knock on the door, I can't do it. Those moments that compounded year after year, winter after winter, or started washing cars or push mowing lawns, those little moments allow me to learn the skill of sales that cannot be taught in a book. Or secondly, when I first started college, I got into a life insurance internship while I was growing my lawn care business. It was with Northwestern Mutual. And the first thing they told me to do is that you need to start calling your friends and family. Now, I could have been like, no, I don't want this internship. This is not me. But I knew that this was teaching me how to communicate, that I knew that if they told me to do it, I'm going to do it. And I made this commitment to myself. I got myself in this situation. You're going to figure it out. So those moments in the den when I'm sitting there hammering out leads or going through my phone book, calling friends, nervous, sweating, like, dude, do you want to speak to me? I'm a financial advisor. Yet I have no idea what I'm doing. But my ability to actually be in the game, that grit that I developed, allowed me to become who I am, that transferred in all these different areas of my life. Or third, when I started my lawn care business, I took my dad's truck, my dad's push mower. I had 0 clients. I took that business from $0 to $20,000. All because I learned how to sell. And I learned how to sell by knocking on doors, by putting marketing advertisement on, the Nextdoor app. And then people would call me, or they would leave their number, and then I'm calling them. And I'm a 20-year-old kid, a 19-year-old kid with no logos on my truck yet. And I'm selling them because of the lessons that I want to share with you here at the end of the video that will allow you to sell anyone. And the fourth thing is I went into the tree business. I knew nothing about trees. I'm this little kid who's frightened, who just got an apartment, who just sold his business, is starting back from zero, and I have to go knock on people's doors or get a lead form and tell them that I know what type of species their tree is. I was not that guy, but I learned how to communicate. I learned to look them in the eyes. I learned how to build some trust, and I learned that I could sell anyone from some of the skills that I did. But the only reason that I got good was all from those previous lessons that I've learned that I stacked in my favor that allowed me to learn how to sell. And then lastly, I want to share with you a story. I jumped into the med spa industry as a kid, watching the YouTube videos of people making money with SMA. I'm that kid that used to go on there, how to make money online, SMMA. I would watch those videos, social media marketing. Okay, write down. Okay, write down. Okay, tomorrow I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna call these med spas. I'm gonna call someone's mom that I know owns a med spa, and I'm gonna get her an appointment. I'm gonna go to her med spa, and that was me. I took my briefcase, I took a clipboard, and I knew nothing about marketing, and I still sold her social media marketing services because I told myself that I'm going to figure this out before I even get started, and most importantly, that I'm gonna find a way to get a client before I actually learn the game. Now, I don't recommend that you do this, but that was my approach. Some people will watch, learn, listen, but never take action. But for me, my ability to go out there, take an idea, get in front of people, and try to sell myself completely changed my life, which makes me unstoppable and which makes me dangerous. I learned right on that if I want to get stronger, I'm not going to read a book on going to the gym or nutrition. I am going to eat right. I'm going to actually feel the pain. I'm going to get the door slammed in my face. I'm going to have my triceps burning, and I'm going to be in the game in order for me to get the gains, okay? Now, the second thing I want to share with you that really completely changed my life is that I learned that if I could be someone that was liked by other people, that I would make sales. Now, this is, I believe, not taught in the sales books, but I learned that even though I sucked, even though that I got those contracts with the med spa, or even though I had these tree clients that were buying from me, they knew that I wasn't that good. They wanted to work with me because they simply liked me. And I want to share with you a few things here. And I want to share with you a story when I first started my lawn care business. I had my dad's truck. I had this idea that I'm going to start this lawn care business. This kid in my high school is doing it, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to do it too. I'm going to jump in the game. So I get this client, bam, in one of the richest neighborhoods in my community. I live in a small town. Gated entrance. I don't know what I'm doing. I have this truck, and I go to this lady's house. This massive house. I don't even have a wheelbarrow. I don't even have a trailer. I don't even have a pitchfork for the mulch. And it's this mulch estimation. The first thing she asked me is I knock on this big door. She's like, so how long have you been doing this? I said, I've been doing this kind of my whole life. 7 to 5 years, I've been, with my dad, just pushing me on lawns, and, I'm finally ready to start growing my business. And as we're walking through the house, we're walking through the property, I'm complimenting her bushes. I'm complimenting, the shirt that she had on, like the school logo she had. I'm complimenting, how did you get this house? What did you and your husband do? She was so bought into me, she just neglected that, maybe this kid knows what he's doing. And I got this job. It was like $1,800. I had no idea how to bid. I spent 2 days looking how to estimate, how to bid the mulch. I called my grandma. I called other landscaping stores, and I told them, hey, it's going to need like 18 yards of mulch here. Like, that's more mulch than a whole mall complex. Do you sure know what you're doing? I'm like, sure, I'm going to know what I'm doing. And I got there. I didn't have the right equipment. I didn't have the right wheelbarrow, and I got completely embarrassed. But what I want to share with you, that this lady bought from me, and as I grow and learned how to sell in my life, is I got people to believe in me. I got people to just simply like me. And right now, I knew that I can jump into any industry, that I can smile, that I can say the right things, that I can connect with someone. And those things are not taught in a book. Those things are not taught in scripture or some type of ledger that you're going to read. What people want is they want someone they can trust, they want someone they like, and if you can build this connection, you can build this deep love for someone who you are selling to. It doesn't matter if you suck or you're amazing. People want to do business with someone they like. And the third lesson that I learned that completely changed my life was a realization that most people who are in sales, or my competition that I'm selling against, are simply not that good. For me to make more money, for me to win in this industry, to win in this game, I simply just needed to be a little bit better. Now, the reason I share this with you is because another story that I had 2 years ago, I was in the tree removal business, and a huge winter storm came down. Again, I'm driving through rich neighborhoods. I'm trying to make some money. I'm trying to sell. It's winter. Most people don't need tree work, but I'm gonna find a way to make 10 grand per month. So the storm comes down, and bam, it's like the lottery here. All these trees it's an ice storm. All these trees are laying in people's yards, and guess what? All the other tree services are in that community knocking on doors. So I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna do what they're doing, but I'm gonna find a way to close these people. I'm competitive, I'm hungry, I'm more likable. Watch me close more business. And sure enough, I'm knocking on the doors. A guy named John enters in. I'm like, John, hey, I'm here, I'm the tree guy. Just wanted to see, you have trees laying down in your front yard. You obviously need my help. What's kind of holding you back? Do you want to go ahead and move forward? He said, man, I've had 4 people knock on my door here, and you are the only guy that I'm going to go with. Okay, I'm like, huh. I go it again, next door. I had another 4 people down here, but I want to go with you. And what I realize is that no matter if it's in the tree removal business or if I've been in the lawn care business, at most of your competition is not as skilled as you. And I learned very quickly, if you could just be a little bit better, that you can actually make more money than everyone else in your industry. I was a 20-year-old kid competing against all these professional, seasoned guys, and they're still giving me business. And I want to share with you 3 things that I learned about being a little bit better that can help change your business, that help me learn about sales and allow me to actually make money in my current industry of life insurance today that makes me unbeatable and unstoppable. Number 1, if you can build maximum amount of trust, you can be unstoppable. As other people are, fighting for your audience, other people are pitching them, other people are, selling them the same cars, guess what? It is basically a commodity product. You need to find ways to become better than everyone else. And the way that I learned how to sell is that I learned how to communicate trust to people, the presence, the way I smiled, the way I bought into people, the tonality, the language that I presented myself, the stories, the understanding about people's life. I wanted to learn about people that I was selling to, which build massive amounts of trust. Secondly, what I want to share with you is that you need to learn how to communicate price to value. Now, I learned this really quickly with the Chipotle analysis that I share that I learned. It's like, hey, why do people love going to Chipotle? It's because Chipotle is a $7, $12 bowl, and you feel like you're getting a meal for $20. That gap from $13 to $20, that gap between is the value. The more value that you have, the more likelihood someone's able to buy from you. And what I learned at a young age through my communication is that I'm going to build this value. I'm going to get someone to want to buy from me because I seem really valuable, and it's all because I know how to communicate. I'm smooth. I know how to understand the objections. I understand what their pain is. I am really invested. I wanted to learn about them, and most importantly, I learned how to say the right things the right way that allow me to learn and beat my competition. The competition, the people that you're fighting against, they're not skilled, they're not trained, they're not trying to grow their skills. They're washed up, they're old, they're tired of the game. Their heart's not in it. So when they get to the house or they get on the person on the phone, it's like, hey, here's the problem. It's going to be $1,200. And then like, all right, well, call me if you want me. But for me, I wanted to sell you. When I get a prospect, when you get a prospect on the phone, you are there to sell them. And when you can communicate and you tackle or carry out your mission, you will make more money, and it's going to change your life. The last thing that can't be taught in books, the last thing that can't be read is the actual conviction that you have on the phone. They tell you, believe in your product, all the seminars, believe in your product, or maybe the books that I haven't read yet, believe in your product's the best, do this. But one thing that cannot be taught in any book is the way that you communicate and the way that you actually believe in your product. When someone can feel that you are their guy, that you are their girl, that they trust you, that you communicate that there's no one better than you, that you are so bought in, that you believe in your product, that you're going to fulfill this product, and no one's going to fulfill this product better than you, that can't be taught in the book. And when you can communicate or learn that skill, whatever industry you jump into, you will absolutely dominate. And that is the 3 reasons how you can absolutely slay your competition. But most importantly, I learned if I could just be a little bit better by building a little bit more trust in the competition, if I can communicate a little bit smoother or clearly or understand their problem through my communication just a little bit better, I would make more money. And lastly, if I can communicate my conviction as a 20-year-old who's just figuring out, who's hungry, who's in the game, if I can share with them that I'm more convicted, that I know that I'll take care of them, that I know that they're going to have the best service, that they are going to want to move forward with me. That's how I learned how to sell. I went from that story of listening to my mom and listening to the people telling me this kid Peter's figuring out, he dropped out of college, he doesn't know what he's doing, he's Thanksgiving dinner, and dude, what are you doing with your life? But I knew deep down I am working on my craft. It takes some time, but you better wait, because right now we're getting started, and I want to share with you the skill of sales have completely changed my life, and I want to change your life. This is my story. I love you guys. I hope this brings you massive amounts of value, and I want you guys to win so much. I love you, and I want to grow with you. Comment, like, subscribe if there's anything I can do for you. Please let me know. Get better. Keep growing. Let's go, baby. Cheers.